Alright, welcome neighbors, Miracle Farm 1927 Homestead. And we're out here on a job with one of our neighbors. And this is a 820 John Deere diesel. Biggest two-cylinder that John Deere made. They made 4 different models, kind of the same tractor. So this was the second to last model made. This was the 820. Today we're kind of dealing with some fuel issues. It has some other issues that we're kind of working on. The oil pump shaft broke, but at the same time it's also getting fuel in the oil, and we're trying to narrow things down on it. Don't know if the injectors are leaking or something about this fuel filter assembly. But anyway, work on it. Tell you a little bit about this tractor. Man who owns this tractor back in the day when my dad and grandpa were pulling, this guy was also pulling. So this is an old pulling tractor. He uses it for farm work now. But you can come back here and we can look at him. He got old wheelie bar set up, really nice wheelie bar set up. It's got the where you can adjust the height of the wheelie bar. That's also like a weight rack. It doubles as a weight rack. And come over here and notice something. You can look at this. He's got a front weight rack. Look at them weights. Weights kind of look familiar on this one. This is this guy is who I bought my weights from. So he had them made by somebody. They're really nice. They were cut out with a something, I don't know, some sort of big cutter, but they were all made identical. So those are exactly the same as mine. Because I bought them off this guy, and this guy, he's given me some stuff. He gave me my ring for my hitch on my pulling tractor, and he gave me my wheelie bars. Wheelie bars come off his. He has a G he pulled too. So yeah, so that's who this guy is. Anyway, this used to be an old pulling tractor. Anyway, we're trying to get it going again. There's the hood for it. But anyway, we're gonna see if this helps. We're gonna replace this gasket behind this fuel filter assembly and see if that helps any. So we'll get to it. Anyway, we gotta take this piece off. This is the piece for putting the that seal. And does it go into the oil somewhere? We can't tell. Looked at the book, and it's might be going into oil, but it's leaking, so we have to change it anyway. It's leaking to the outside, so we're hoping that's it. Stuck on there. But we took the valve cover off and put that piece of cardboard in case the injectors were leaking. And that way it would just run onto that cardboard instead of in the pan. And we put a piece of cardboard underneath the pumps. And the cardboard under the pumps is dry, and the cardboard under the injectors are dry, but still getting oil in the oil pan. Oh, he's got the thing off. Don't know. Here's the gasket. It was definitely leaking, we knew that. But we don't know if that went into the oil. The old gasket's just squished, I guess. Anyway, that's off right there. We just, most of the time, tear into stuff that we don't much know about. Try to fix it. Most of the time it works, but we don't know. But anyway, that little shaft pulls all that stuff in these tractors, and it broke in half. So now we're having one made. I'm sure that's going to cost a lot for that little shaft to get made. That's all you can do. Pretty neat. This one, Daddy changed this one over to electric start by these kits. Comes with this plate, gear reduction starter, everything like that. I don't know the name. Do you know the name of the kit? The starter kit? We don't know the name of the starter kit. If you ask in the comments, we should be able to look it up. But anyway, it's the old pony motor blew up on this one, and Dad was going to rebuild it, but it's going to be really expensive to rebuild this one. Or the pony motors are really expensive to build, and it was cheaper just to put the starter on it, because you already have a battery for the pony motor, and the kit comes with all the plugs for like the oil lines and fuel lines and all that stuff. And you get this really nice plate. Looks really nice. It hides up under the hood really well, and gear reduction starter, and everything pretty much works the same. You just got to wire it into your switch panel. So you just use your hole right there. Well, I guess that's where your pony motor controls are. Took them out, and then just put those buttons in for the, or you just put that button in for the starter. You just wire that, and still use your compression relief just like you would with the pony motor. But this is a lot more reliable, because them old pony motors, a lot of people like the sound of them old pony motors and stuff. It's a big thing to keep them. If you can keep them running, they're great, but a lot of times they're hard to keep running, and the parts are super expensive for them. So electric start, I think, is the way to go. You just put that big starter on it, and anytime you want to come out here and crank this big boy, it cranks right up. What we got?
Okay, if this is the end of the decompression shaft.
Oh.
And if fuel, see, it just moves in and out.
Oh, shoot.
There's no O-ring. So if this is leaking and building up in this housing right here, it's a possibility that that fuel was running in by the decompression.
And it was definitely leaking. We saw it as leaking down the side.
This piece was running down the side, out from under here was running down, so we knew it was leaking out of these two holes right here. So it's a possibility that it was building up in this chamber right here and running in around the decompression lever, because there's no O-ring or nothing there. It's
yeah,
just
it wasn't.
The lever just moves in and out there. So, so that's a possibility, and it was a small.
It wasn't a very large leak.
Sitting all weekend, and right there's all we've got, but it's definitely leaking.
Yeah.
So,
why did they put that in the fuel pump, you think?
Well, it's just under that cover there.
Just, oh yeah, it's just right beside it.
They just bored it all the way through.
Shoot. That's not actually where the compression leaves, though, is it?
No, that's just with the lever. If you'll watch, I'll work the lever in and out here. We've got it off the other side.
Yeah. So that's just where it moves in there, so it doesn't have to be sealed at all.
No, well,
I guess the gasket seals the oil.
Would seal the oil off, but like I said, if fuel was leaking here, it could definitely build up and run back and around that shaft. So, but we know it was definitely leaking fuel, so it more than likely was building up in this housing.
Yep. See, we didn't even know if there was anywhere it could actually run into the motor behind this. We just knew it was leaking, and we kind of was running out of options, so we done built this pump. That was an ordeal, but we didn't think it was leaking into the oil, but we went ahead and built it because it was kind of a might as well thing to do, and it's not leaking anymore, and we didn't think it was leaking before, but so now, that's neat. He's pretty sharp about the stuff. I'm kind of just learning still. You're always learning, but don't matter how good you are. We just learned something today. Daddy's been messing with these tractors for 40 years or so and never knew about that. And we just figured that out now. So this was definitely leaking. The other day when we got this pump built, it was leaking down the frame here. So that's definitely a possibility. So if y'all have any leaking into the motor oil on these 830s, 820s, I guess they're all the same, like the R's and the 80s. I'm not 100% sure. They're all the same, but that looks pretty much like it's the same. So that's neat. Got that figured out. So we got some fuel resistant gasket maker. Usually that works. This tractor is full. Like I was saying about that shaft that broke, this tractor has remotes from the hydraulics. That's what runs these remotes, and that little shaft is pulling all of that. It's crazy. By the way, these old tractors, if you've never seen these tractors, they're hand clutch, just like the older 2-cylinders. They're hand clutch, everything like that. We're wanting some tires about like this go on our G. I don't know if y'all looked at our videos of the G we have. We have a 48 model G, and we have 23 26s on it, and these are big. I think these are 18.4 34s. So we were thinking about changing over to an 18.4 because they look pretty good. But that's the same. We was noticing that the other day. Them front tires, same size tires as my D has on it. But anyway, I'm getting a little bit low on battery, so we'll I'll show putting that housing back on and show you. We'll come back in a few days and see if she leaks or not. Hopefully it doesn't. We'll see. Y'all got all our surfaces nice and clean and sanded, and now we had to blow the fuel out of the lines. We got the new gasket, and we got some fuel resistant gasket maker. We're going to let it dry till tomorrow before we turn any fuel to it. So anyway, he's got to get it started back on there. It's going to be a pain because we put new rubber O-rings in the fuel line. And you got to get them dowels started at the same time. I think it's starting. Maybe not. Well, I think it's on the line. It just ain't started on the dowels. Yeah. Anyway, we got him mostly started. We're gonna get him finished up. And wait till tomorrow, and we're gonna turn some fuel to it. We'll see y'all later. Alright, we're back in here with the 820. And as you can see, we put this bucket under it. The bucket is dry, so we think we got our fuel leak fixed. And this wasn't like it was the other day. We've been working on it since the other day. We got our new shaft made for the oil pump drive, and got that in. So we put the timing cover back on. Now we're dealing with getting the governor housing put back up. It's kind of a little bit tedious. The governor spring has to go in. You got to put some retainers in, and you got to make sure the cap is the right way on the spring. And you don't want to drop. You don't want to drop your any of the spring or the retainer down in there, because it's going to be, all this will have to come back off. You can no longer get the timing cover gaskets, so we had to silicone all that and all that. So anyway, we did get our fuel leak stopped, but now we're gonna get all this back on and see if it's big thing getting that flywheel on. Flywheel weighs about 200-300 pounds, so that's gonna be fun. We had to bring our, it's on the trailer out there, we had to bring our own cherry picker from the shop, so we put this big boy on. Anyway, alright, we're back up here with the 820, and as you can see, we got our leak stopped over there. We're pretty happy with that. As you can see, I got it back together, put the starter back on it, and the hydraulic pump, and the, I don't guess I filmed any of it. I think I had the flywheel on, but we got the timing cover on and put all that stuff back in it. Got the throttle rod and the compression relief lever out, or back in, and all that stuff. So I'll crank him up. He leaves the battery cable on it. So I explained before, so this one's got the this one's got a compression relief, but like I said, this one now has electric start, as you've seen, so it works the same way as the pony motor did. You just you use your starter. You just turn them on, and then crank right up. Anyway, crank good today.
That all nuts I took out for the...
Oh yeah, I showed them that, but anyway, that's what Dad is saying. That's all the controls for the pony motor. You just put it over here. How come that says starter already? Was there?
Well, it had to start the pony motor.
Oh, this. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I can.
What does that say?
Huh?
What does that other button say?
Fuel. It says cut the fuel off, I guess. No? I don't know. Yeah, that's got a, it's got a thing over there. I don't know why that says fuel. Anyway. Daddy put it in, he don't remember what we done, but anyway. Old tractor runs good. Make sure we had oil pressure, because that's what we had to replace on the inside. We had to take the it broke the oil pressure shaft, or the oil pump shaft, and like I said, it powers the power steering, the fan, the alternator, and the oil pump on one little shaft. So we had one made, and nothing in it. We turned everything by hand, and it turns real easy. The oil pump turned easy. The fan turned easy. The pump, you know, the power steering pump turned easy. We have no idea why it broke. And we was worried about the motor, because they did not realize it had broke. The owner of this tractor wasn't driving it, I don't think. Somebody else driving it, and they just noticed the fan wasn't turning. They had no idea the oil pump wasn't turning. So we was worried that it starved the bearings for oil, but it did not. Thankfully, we checked all that. We you know, we wiggled everything in there and made sure there wasn't no slopping, nothing, but you could hear it. Nothing was loose in there. He'd be knocking. But anyway, we got him running. We just wanted to come back today. Well, we had to come back and get our cherry picker. Forgot about that, but we wanted to come back and crank it and make sure it was going to be make sure it was okay today. You know, things can change, but our fuel stuff is all right and everything, and still cranks today. So anyway, I guess that's the end of the 820 for now. So we'll see y'all later.